It's the email you've been waiting for, or at least it's the email your parents told you to wait for. You've been crushing it for 2 years. You hit every KPI. You're the person everyone comes to when they need the complex stuff fixed. And now management wants to reward you. They want to make you a manager. They offer you a 15% raise, a new title, a seat at the table. But then you look at your current boss. Not the person, the lifestyle. You see the 7 a.m. calls with overseas teams, the back-to-back Zoom meetings where nothing actually gets done, the fact that they haven't done real work in 3 years because they're too busy managing the emotional meltdowns of 3 other people, and you realize something that goes against everything we are taught in school. Taking that promotion might be the worst financial decision of your life. There is a silent shift happening in the workforce right now. It's called unbossing. It's happening in Fortune 500s, it's happening in tech, and it's happening to your friends. Smart people, high performers, are looking at the corporate ladder and realizing the rungs are broken. Today we are going to run the math that HR doesn't want you to see. We're going to talk about the effective hourly rate, the psychological cost of status, and why the smartest move in 2026 might be to stay exactly where you are. Here's the thing. We are wired to believe that up always equals good. More rank equals more money, but let's look at the actual numbers, because this is where the illusion falls apart. Let's take a hypothetical high performer. Let's call him Alex. Alex is a senior analyst. He makes $85,000 a year. He's good at his job. He works a solid 40 hours a week, maybe 42 if things are busy. He clocks out at 5 p.m., goes to the gym, and doesn't check Slack until the next morning. Let's calculate his effective hourly rate. $85,000 divided by 52 weeks, divided by 40 hours. Keep that number in your head, $41 an hour. Now Alex gets the tap. He gets promoted to team lead. The company offers him a 20% raise. That sounds massive, right? That's $17,000 extra dollars. He's now making $102,000. But here is what the contract doesn't say. As a manager, Alex is no longer just responsible for his work, he's responsible for the output of 5 other people. He has to do performance reviews, he has to sit in strategy alignment meetings, he has to cover when his junior dev calls in sick. Suddenly, Alex isn't working 40 hours. Let's be conservative and say 50 hours. Let's run the math again. Did you catch that? Alex just took a promotion. He took on more stress. He is now liable for other people's mistakes. He lost his free time in the evenings, and for the privilege of doing all that, he effectively took a pay cut of $1.63 an hour. We focus on the gross annual number because that's the ego number. That's the number you tell your parents or your date. But your life is lived in the hours, and if you are selling more hours for a lower unit price, you aren't getting richer, you're getting scammed. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but Ethan, I need that title to get to the next level where the real money is. And look, 10 years ago, you were right, you had to eat dirt in middle management to become a director or VP. But the game has changed. This is where unbossing comes in. Unbossing is actually 2 different things happening at the same time. First, it's coming from the companies. Big corporations like Meta, Bayer, and Citi are literally eliminating middle management layers. They call it flattening the organization. They want makers, not managers. But the second part, the part I'm interested in, is coming from us. From the employees. A recent study by CMI showed that only 1 in 4 people actually want to manage a team. Why? Because we've seen the curtain pulled back. We are realizing that the middle manager is the shock absorber of the corporate car. You take the bumps from the executives above you who have unrealistic goals, and you take the heat from the employees below you who want more money. You are crushed from both sides. And for Gen Z and Millennials who prioritize mental health and autonomy, That trade-off is mathematically broken. There is a concept in psychology called the Peter Principle. It states that people in a hierarchy tend to rise to their level of incompetence. You're a great coder, make him a manager. Now you're a terrible manager who doesn't code anymore. You're a great salesman, make her a VP of sales. Now she spends all day doing spreadsheets instead of selling. We take people who are excellent at doing things and force them into roles where they just talk about things. And the smart people are finally saying, no thanks. But wait, it gets worse. We need to talk about the shadow tax of that promotion. When you are stressed and time poor, your spending habits shift from value to convenience. You stop cooking, you order Uber Eats. You're too drained to clean, so you hire a service. You're so stressed on Friday that you blow $200 on retail therapy just to feel a spark of joy. This is the cortisol tax. You are spending the extra money you earned to numb the stress you only have because you took the job to make the money. It's a circular trap. Often, a $15,000 raise results in $0 in net savings after the lifestyle upgrades required to survive the stress. So, what's the alternative? It's not about being lazy. It's about strategic stagnation. Look, you don't need a manager title to increase your income. Here is the 2026 blueprint. Step 1. The individual contributor. IC track. Companies are desperate for experts. In tech, they call this the staff engineer or principal track. You get paid for what you know and what you can build, not who you supervise. Step 2, polyworking. Remember Alex, the guy making $85,000 working 40 hours? If he gets really good at his job, eventually he can do it in 30 hours. He could take that promotion for $102,000 and work 55 hours. Or he could keep his $85,000 job and use those extra 10 to 15 hours to start a consulting gig, a YouTube channel, or a freelance hustle that makes him $30,000. Which position is safer? The one where your entire livelihood depends on one boss who could fire you tomorrow? Or the one where you have multiple streams of income and you own your time? Step 3, quiet ambition. This is the new status symbol. It's not the corner office, it's the empty calendar. It's having the ability to pick your kids up from school at 3 p.m. because you aren't stuck in a leadership sink. True wealth in 2026 isn't just the number in the bank. It's the ratio of money earned to stress endured. Here's the reality. Society has an invisible script that says you have to keep climbing until you can't breathe. They tell you that stopping is failing. But look at the people at the top of your company. Really, look at them. Look at their health. Look at their relationships. Look at their stress levels. Do you want their life? Or do you just want their paycheck? If you just want the paycheck, there are smarter, faster, and healthier ways to get it than managing a team of 12 people who don't want to be there. Don't let your ego write checks your mental health can't cash. Be smart, do the math, and sometimes the boldest move you can make is to look at your boss in the eye and say, "No, thank you." If this video shifted your perspective even in the slightest, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We are building a community here at Mindshift Studios that values freedom over titles. Next week, we're breaking down the Diderot effect and why buying a new couch might bankrupt you. You don't want to miss that. I'll see you then.